After returning from his journey, Georg learns that Baron Song and Lady Dysek have finally married in a small, discreet ceremony. With not much to do, Georg spends most of his time setting up a research laboratory in his library. His work is interrupted by Cal Crystal, however. She informs him she is moving to Cauldron to accompany the Lady Steamhouse, as the Baron's new wife has become jealous of the young woman. Cal Crystal confides in Georg that she thinks the new Lady Song's mental fortitude may be crumbling. A little perturbed by the news, Georg nonetheless continues the work on his laboratory, taking a break only to visit town to hire Jebub as a permanent labourer, visiting Vanessa to collect some gold, so he also meets the new gatekeeper, a tall, gaunt-looking young knight called Kel Alyssa Milgin. He also visits the temple, which is still strangely abandoned, and has an awkward conversation with Mother Emma. After weeks of study, Georg decides to go for some fresh air, and decides to take his undead unicorn out to go explore the soggy hills. He finds some hobgoblins, which flee at the sight of him, but he does manage to harvest a soul from one. He continues with his exploration, and finds a lifelike statue and some ruins with a shed lizard skin. Georg sets up camp nearby, and spends the night in the soggy hills. The next day, he returns to the site, and starts exploring the ruins more thoroughly. He finds a cave and starts exploring, and it is not long before he encounters a strange red-robed woman. After a cautious chat, the woman reveals she is a Medusa and seeks companionship, and is willing to trade the approximate location of the Chimera lair. Georg decides to leave on amicable terms, and the Medusa hints that an alliance of sorts would be possible if Georg provides her with mates. Georg spends most of the day continuing his search of the soggy hills. He is tempted to return to the cave, and spends the evening with the Medusa, but self-preservation prevails, and he once more spends the night alone in his tiny hut. The next day, on the way back to town, he spots some trolls and decides to harvest some more souls. The trolls turn out to be more challenging than Georg anticipated, but he manages to overcome them. Georg starts harvesting souls, but soon the amulet is filled up, and he decides to see what happens if he drains a soul when the amulet is full. And next thing he knows, he lost control of his body and is running through the forest, much like a mad Saxon. Will Georg play matchmaker for the Medusa? How crazy will the new Lady Song get? Will Georg ever get that date with Mother Emma? Let's find out on Dicing with Death.
Hey there, everybody. This is Dicing with Death, and Ryan is still listening to the recap, so I'm going to prattle on for a little bit while he finishes it.
It doesn't matter. There were like 15 seconds, and you and Layla were talking at the same time, so it doesn't. You ruined it for me.
Oh,
but I'm sure chat got to experience the full recap.
Someone should, even if you and I don't.
Chris.
How is it going, Ryan? What's up with you and your life?
It is going.
It hasn't stopped yet?
It hasn't stopped yet.
When does it stop? When do you get a break?
I don't know.
That is the answer a real adult gives.
When you die, Neil, you get a break when you die.
Life never stops, guys. Whatever you're doing right now is the rest of your life.
Yes, so
a terrifying thought.
Act accordingly.
Yeah.
And play Dungeons and Dragons in the middle of your afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Even yeah.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
when you're working on your PhD, you still got to make time to do some Dungeons and Dragons.
So, what's new with you? You need to update the viewers on anything, or
no? It's been a good week. Age of Strife premiered last Sunday.
yes, I
which was
caught
fantastic.
the majority of the VODs.
Mm-hmm.
I checked out some of the character creation. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, they rolled some pretty incredible stats. They did a weird stat rolling method. They basically each rolled two characters, learned the stats, and then picked
it was
one.
weird to watch players try have to house rule for a poorer method of rolling, but it wound up with some interesting characters, I think.
Very interesting characters. We got someone with like 18-76 strength, who also has 3 hotness.
Oh yeah, that was pretty. We'll see what comes of it.
Oh no, it's canon. He tried to get some wiggle room there, and
he didn't embrace the 3 hotness. 3 hotness is beautiful. You get to come up with the sickest battle scars or
oh yeah, mauled by a bear.
Mauled by a bear, is that what he
mauled
decided?
by a bear? Yeah, now he's got face wrappings, and he's been working on his character in the background since the Sunday.
Oh, spoilers!
So he's learning to embrace the 3 hotness, which is good.
Yeah. I'm super excited for Age of Strife.
We got a set of twins, fraternal twins. We got a younger sister, and then we got like the older uncle, who will probably be starting off running things for them since he's like 11 years older than the rest of the party. We got 2 fighters, a rogue. 2 fighters, a thief, and a bard.
Yeah, I'm glad someone. Well, we'll see if he survives to level 2. But I think it'll be cool to explore the low magic world from the bard's perspective. Because
it's gonna
at
be.
some point they'll encounter an evil wizard or a witch or something, and he'll get his hands on a spell book and.
No spells for bards ever.
You're gonna ban that?
Ban all magic for bards. Bards can't.
Magic just doesn't work in the world?
No, just there's PCs cannot acquire magic. Just flat out. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a no magic campaign for the PC side. Yeah.
Well then.
It'll be interesting. So that's what's been going on in my life. Age of Strife.
Yeah.
Getting back into the default world after having been hanging out in the desert for a week.
That was like 2 weeks ago. You've moved on from those experiences.
It takes a long time to get back into normal functioning society.
How long, Neil?
Like 3 or 4 weeks before you're really back into normal things. But then the after effects kind of drizzle on for a month or 2, 3.
The rest of your life.
Up there. Yeah. All right. So enough of all that crap. Dicing with Death.
Yeah, before we jump into details, I will shout out the awesome fan art. Particularly, what's the guy's name? Matthew Berger? Is that how he goes by? It's Kronos in the Reddit, if you go to Reddit right now.
Yeah.
There were a few other, there were a couple Dicing with Death fan arts this past week.
Yeah.
But get over to the...
There was a pixel fan art, and then there was this one, which, God, it looks so familiar. I feel like I've seen something like this before.
You have every week in your imagination.
That's it. I'm going to see if I can't put it
on my stream. Really cool. I don't know. It's weird, like blend of abstract with like pretty realistic figure drawing.
Yeah.
And that's like for me, it's pretty haunting to like see, so close to like how I would have imagined
Georg's life.
Oh, well,
his thoughts, his personality, his darkness.
I wasn't even thinking that deep. I was looking superficially, but yeah, sure, that too. Yeah, symbolism and shit. Anyways.
Did you catch on that the symbol of Malchus is behind him?
Yeah.
For those of you that are watching...
The bloody forearm from all,
That white spiral behind him is the symbol of Malchus. It's his holy symbol. I actually didn't realize that the first time I saw it.
There's 3 of those on the back of the amulet, or the front of the amulet, the back of the amulet.
One of the 2.
Yeah. And that's what that gave away at some point to someone that Georg didn't even catch that, I think, in the first inspections of the ambulance.
Yeah.
But at some point, some NPC with a better religion check than mine. In any case, let's jump in because we kind of left off on a pretty huge cliffhanger. And
we did. So you guys all saw the recap.
I utterly obliterated the trolls.
Yes, you did.
But in the process of disposing of their bodies and recycling their souls, I went a little too far, and I released too many troll souls, and it wasn't entirely clear what that does. It sounded like Neil was gonna steal my character and run off into the woods.
That's kind of what happened.
We'll evaluate. I mean, so do I get a saving throw versus spell what happens? I guess.
No. So you are voluntarily using a power of an artifact.
Okay.
So it's like volunteering to fail your saving throw without realizing what really you're doing. You're like, oh, let's just try this thing.
It's not a bug; it's a feature. I intentionally activated.
Yes, you activated an unknown feature of the amulet.
So tell me what happens. Do I go crazy? Do I lose my mind in the woods?
Where is my? Hold on.
I think you ended the scene with me literally running. Right?
Running through the woods, yes.
Running through the woods, yeah.
You have this hazy memory of everything's kind of like red, and it's just like crashing through branches, moving over ground. You can't really remember too much, but you clearly have these memories of like ripping through large sections of forest. And then it kind of fades in and out and in and out. Some time has passed. You're definitely aware of a passage of time, but you don't know if it's been minutes or hours or days or years. Just some.
So I am. You're describing this as a memory, I guess, is what you're saying. Yes. I cannot interact as a player in this game right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Cutscene.
Cutscene, sure.
Okay. You come to consciousness. You are staring up at a stone ceiling. As you start to get your wits around you, you realize you are lying in a bed. I mean, it doesn't have any blankets on it, but a bed or a cot or some sort of like normal sleeping thing. But you are restrained. There are leather straps that go across your arms, hips, thighs, and feet. You're covered in minor scratches and bruises, and they hurt all over.
Do I have my stuff? Should I delete my equipment?
We'll get there. The room is circular, 15 feet across, and made of stone. It looks like a laboratory of sorts.
This is some dark shit, Neil.
A staircase takes up a section of the wall on your left, going both up and down. Light streams in through a few small open windows. As you look around the room, you notice squatting against an open section of wall is a misshapen, monstrous creature. The legs of a great cat, a human arm, a wolf claw, and the face of a lizard man. It's devouring a chicken, feathers and all.
So are you inserting me into the scene at this point? I've got so many questions, and oh man. Flirting with some dark shit here, Neil. Breaking all the DM rules. Seen some GM hacks in my day, but it's a dark way to go. But we'll roll with it. So do I am still wearing my robes?
Yes, you were wearing your robes.
Is my shit scattered all around me, or is it still in my pockets?
Your hands are on the outside of your robes, and you can't reach them inside.
Okay, so I'm trying to gauge time. So what time of day did I
afternoon, maybe?
gray out? afternoon. So so my deep pockets I think has like 17 hours or something. So if it were more than okay, I'll calculate this. But I assume you have thought about this. Like, is my stuff still in my pockets, or
You can't reach it. From your hands are on the outside.
I can
of your
feel
robes.
the weight though of my robe. My robe will be 10 pounds arbitrarily when when deep pockets is cast on it, and it's just a robe, a finely crafted robe. Otherwise,
Good thinking.
And
your
I
robe is
assume-
light as a feather.
okay. So it's been more than. Let me do a quick. Well, it could, yeah.
How long has it been?
Just a second. Deep Pockets lasts for 20 hours. I cast it first thing in the morning on, God, I don't have the date written down, but it was like August the 4th or something, July the 4th, something the 4th.
August 5th is where we left off.
Okay, August 5th. Morning of, so 20 hours from that. So it's at least been 20 hours, which would be, the troll fight was probably like 2 in the afternoon or something like that, middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Halfway through the day. So probably at least like 6 hours after that fight. The trolls would have revived within a couple of minutes. I don't know how many I got through, at what point in the dismemberment I stopped. I think there was one troll still, I don't even know, not in the bonfire. But who knows? Presumably my skeletal unicorn can fend for itself, more or less. I mean, it's pretty close to being dead, but I can't imagine the sole survivor of that massacre.
At this point in time,
the
monstrous creature looks up from its.
Oh yeah. Okay. So do I
spots.
have my spells still memorized, or did I like go? I don't. I have my
no spells memorized.
Erased.
Yes, you've been in a haze for an unknown period of time that made you lose control of your body, and your memorized spells are gone. The monstrous creature.
I go into my extra dimensional pocket. Yeah.
Shit, you can just go into an extra dimensional pocket, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I don't know what the monster do. What's the last sight of that I see as I'm doing this? Like, does the monster come charging at me? Or?
No, it starts walking towards the staircase.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I had more time, but still, at least this way I can go to the extra dimensional pocket and teleport and come back from the extra dimensional pocket. Probably not in bindings anymore. But we'll see. I think I've got like some number of hours. 1 hour? 1 hour in there?
Let's take a look.
No. And then I'll start inspecting my person. Lost my spells.
Dimensionalist. 8th level gains the power to disappear by stepping into a pocket dimension once per day. While in the pocket dimension, he's detectable only by spells that can discern dimensional openings and is immune to any attack, but also has no way of what's happening in the place he left until he chooses to step back into the real world. Dimensionalist may remain for up to 1 hour before he is forced to exit and take any actions he desires. While inside, the pocket dimension's point of exit is always the exact same place the Dimensionalist entered. No spell that would allow a Dimensionalist to leave its pocket without first re-entering the real world can function, including teleport, dimension door, shadow walk, and similar enchantments. Okay. Do you have an hour in here?
Peace out. Got nothing to do with the Scrape Dungeon. Okay. So I guess while I've got a little more space to breathe, I'll check I have robes, but nothing. Like when the spell expired, everything would have fallen in my pockets all around me. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that wouldn't? So nothing.
You've got your robes and your
I would have
shoes.
had like my coin purse and stuff. I assume all that's been removed. Basically a blank character sheet.
No. Anything that was tied to your waist is still on you. So your coin purse is still here.
Really? Okay. Well, actually, I don't have a coin purse. Who am I kidding? I have a coin pocket.
I
so
think
my
all your things are in your pockets, but
yeah. I would have had a ring on. Do I still have my ring?
yeah, what ring is it?
Or a ring of protection?
Yeah, that is still on your finger, yes.
Yeah. Lady Redshield's ring.
Yes.
I don't think anything else would have been secured to the amulet of Malchus. That's a big one. That's what I would have checked first, or I probably would have even felt that previously, or maybe I don't feel it.
It is MIA, missing in action.
Woo-wee. Also, can I roll a spellcraft check to figure out or some kind of, I mean, you totally changed all the proficiencies and I haven't really had a chance to reevaluate.
Oh, we can keep using the existing proficiencies for this campaign.
Yeah. It'd probably this would be more the realm of arcanology. Like what, like, can I figure, it was a spell. Like what the fuck happened? Like what?
Give me a spellcraft proficiency check at -5.
Do I have blood on my fingers, on my hands, on my mouth?
No. You are actually surprisingly clean.
I'm at full HP. Do I still have stone skin?
Ooh.
I think my spellcraft
So here's
is
the
reduced
question.
without the amulet, but let's go with that.
Do
That's
you
still a
think
pass.
if you were running through a raspberry bush, would that trigger stone skin? If you stubbed your
impose
toe
damage-
against a log, would that trigger stone skin?
I think a fall would. I don't know if it goes into the specific, but my gut impression is that a fall or some blunt force trauma would just not interact with the stone skin and do direct 2 HP, do like true damage, pure damage, if you will, which isn't really a term in
Right.
D&D. But
I think that your stone skin is probably.
I think if it were me, if it would be to the point where you say you take 1 point of damage from the raspberry bush,
Mhm.
you would nick a stone skin charge.
Okay, then your stone skin has definitely discharged.
And I've lost HP damage on top of that, I assume.
Let's see. Well, hold on.
Like,
I think you
like
would have.
if
You would have lost. You would have taken 4 points of damage over a period of time. So lose force charges on your stone skin.
okay, I mean, so that would have dispelled my stone skin, and I take 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, but I wasn't in a fight. I just ran. Like,
Well,
so I had superpower.
You ought to be confused by what's going on right now. That's reasonable.
Okay. I passed my spellcraft check. So
Okay.
I mean, so I'm like trying to figure out where did can I piece together where those souls went? Like, did I see any visuals what happened when I?
You passed it at -5?
Not at -5. I had a -1, I think.
No, but even at -5, that becomes a 23. That's still a pass.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, So you are pretty sure you've just been affected by some sort of mind melding spell where you and the troll sort of merged into.
And so my question then, and I kind of, I was talking to Neil earlier about what I thought the session would go if I had control, control. If I went full on troll mode, how come I'm not king of the trolls? Like I was all ready for Georg to go king of the trolls and just make a troll army in the woods and put the crown on my head. If I became one with the troll, I can't. The realities do not mesh. Maybe this is a reality check for Georg here.
Well, yeah.
But,
So you're.
I was all
pretty
ready
sure
to
you've been-
cast my enlarge spell and just rule over my troll dominion.
Well, maybe that's how a proper.
Do I not have a
melts-
memory of getting subdued and
Give me.
captured? Like where in the
All right,
memory?
so you've got some time to think about.
I've got an
and
hour.
reflect.
I think.
So give me an intelligence check again at -5 to see if you can piece together any memories about how you might have been subdued.
Okay. I don't think. I mean, I'm not spending the whole hour thinking, but I still. So you want? Oh wait, sorry. That's a minus. I'm not even. That's not even close. But I roll a 10. My intelligence is 18.
That's that's still 13. It's a 23 pass.
And then if you do -5, that's a 13. Yeah. So.
Right. You seem to have some memory of some vivid colors, maybe some sort of color spray spell, or
I'm
something.
immune to color spray at my level.
Yeah. But that's you have some memory of some sort of bright, brilliant colors coming over you.
So I went crazy running through the woods and bumped into some other wizard who subdued me and tied me in their
Also,
laboratory.
you're not immune to color spray. You just get a saving throw, by the way.
Oh, no, I didn't get a saving. You didn't have me roll a saving throw.
I didn't have
Did
you roll a
roll
saving
it in
throw.
secret? It's GM hacks. It's GM hacks.
You can call GM hacks all day long. That's fine.
But yeah, I'm trying to figure out the feature. Like what yeah. So do I have troll souls in me still, or did they expire? What I mean, like, do I feel changed? Is my stats are all the same? Save my.
Your stats are the same.
Normal.
You feel pretty normal. Maybe a slight throbbing in your head, and all these small scratches and cuts and bruises all over you.
Yeah. But so all of my shit has been. So at some point, my deep pockets expired. All of my shit spilled out. It's gone. So I don't have no way I can do spells without sitting down for a few weeks with a pen and paper.
And you've also noticed that your wounds have been cleaned. They haven't been bandaged because they're really small cuts.
Yeah.
Someone has come and cleaned the blood away from them.
I mean, there's really nothing I can do. I guess I can wait 20. I don't know. I'm debating. I don't think there's anything else to do in this pocket dimension.
Well, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask about yourself? Any other bearings you'd like to get before you head out?
Oh, so many questions, but it seems like the answers aren't particularly useful. As in, really, I think I need to go walk upstairs and figure out whose dungeon I'm trapped in. I mean, I would actually have a tough time fist fighting that weird chicken man with no powers, and this dimensional pocket is really my only safe space. God, what the?
And you get
I don't know how far I want to dig into that memory and what you did with my character when I didn't have control.
I think that you will.
I think we'll just.
I think when all is clear, you will be fairly satisfied with how things played out.
Right now, I'm pretty mad. Right now, like, Eric's freaking out. He's curled up in the fetal position in this extra dimensional pocket. Like, oh God, I lost the amulet of, like, I think there's still some good at his core. He's a complex and chaotic young man. Maybe corrupted by the voice of Malchus, the power of Malchus. But I think the first thought is, holy shit, like, if someone else gets their hands on this, like, I was doing my very best to keep the powers contained. I can't think of anyone more qualified than myself to bear that burden. Perhaps that's hubris, but I do have 18 int. Like, yeah.
What are you gonna do? How long do you wait in the
average
pocket?
wizard? Oh man, what's that?
How long do you wait in the pocket dimension before stepping back out into reality?
I probably take the full duration, actually. Like, I can't think, like, I mean, at some point I've got to, I don't know, I have no idea. I mean, at some point I'll because I don't think time is time a factor? It's already been, who knows how long that.
So the duration expires.
Yeah, but I get myself ready before it. Like, at some point, I'm like, oh crap, the duration's running down. I'm gonna have to face whatever is out there. I will probably, like, I'll appear at the same point, but I think if I'm standing up in extra dimensional space, I'll, like, come back to the same point standing up, and
yes.
like, I won't, like.
You won't be like
I'll be like
down again.
Standing on the table or whatever.
All right.
Probably in, like, fighting. I got nothing, right? I got a ring of protection.
That's it.
I got my shoes.
You got your shoes. You
My
got your robe. Right.
Well, I guess everything just kind of appears. So no one would have had to even go through my pockets. It just, like, emptied itself.
You snap back into the room. Your feet fall through the cot, and it becomes very apparent this is not a cot. This is some sort of rack on which to place a body.
Yeah. This is a dungeon. I could do it. Where is there any other? Is the creature still in the room?
Yes, the creature is still in the room, and its head snaps up to see you, out of surprise and maybe a little bit of fear.
Do I see anything I could use as a makeshift quarterstaff? Like,
absolutely. There's a tall candlestick holder that goes all the way to the ground with one of those big bases and the 4 prongs up top.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I equipped that immediately. And get myself untangled from whatever, like the chains or whatever. This was it chain or was it?
No, it's just like you're falling, like, it's a wood bench-like structure with holes in it,
I mean, the thought even crossed my mind that maybe this was like a restraint for my safety as much as those, like, who knows? I mean, like this, yeah, we'll figure out where I am.
So you're trying to untangle yourself from this while you get hold of a long pole to, to use as a quarterstaff.
Yeah,
and
I'll
the creature
ready an
starts,
action to beat the crap out of that thing if it gets within 5 feet of me.
It starts sliding itself towards I shouldn't say sliding. It starts slinking towards the door and going upstairs.
All right. Is this room lit?
Yes, there are a couple of open windows with light coming in from the outside.
I take a peek out a window to see how high up I am. What floor?
You seem to be on the 2nd floor. And looking out, you see forest around you. Well, at least in your, 90-degree view.
Is it second? Looking up, can I see if there's more above me or any buildings around?
You'd have to lean out of the tower.
Yeah, I stick a head out the window, but it is a tower.
It is a tower. It does go up. You see no other buildings around you.
I have direction sense, so I will know which way is north.
You are currently facing east.
It's night or day?
It is day.
Okay.
You're currently facing east.
Based on do I recognize the geography? Am I in the Soggy Hills still?
Maybe. It's all forest. The trees are not... The trees are cut back from the tower a little bit, but not that much. And you don't really have much of a view of anything other than just trees.
Mm-hmm. All right, what else is in the room?
It looks like a laboratory. There are a couple of bookcases with books in them.
Okay,
There's a workbench with alchemical reagents and tools and pen and ink.
Okay, so I'll look at the writings first. Either probably the book, the subjects of the books, the languages of the books. I like do a overview to try and get a feel for whose lab this is.
Okay.
Human? Is it mostly common? Is it most?
Yeah. So you start looking at
these
books.
Writing of
Their titles are written in common. Some of them are written in. It looks like they're written in the language of magic. But as you're scanning the books on the bookshelf, you hear a feminine voice echoing down the stairway. Hello there, stranger. Stranger, can you speak yet?
I turn around, I guess. I set the candlestick down, but still I'm firmly gripping it and using it, have it equipped, but it's so I'm now standing there in the middle of the lab with the candelabra, and suddenly, self-conscious of how strange that looks. But I'm not gonna put down my quarterstaff.
The misshapen creature steps back into the room, and you hear a voice from behind it and up the staircase saying, "You must be very confused and worried." Is he
Without
moving?
a doubt. Who are you, and where is this tower? When is this tower? What's the date?
Now. I think I'm the one that has questions for you.
I'm looking okay. I keep looking through the lab, I guess, unless the thing comes in. Are there any completed potions?
No. Looks like a lot of work in progress stuff. Reminds you of your own lab. Lots of stuff that's half done. I got this water clock, but I'll finish it later. And 6 months later, it's still not finished, sort of thing. She calls out saying, "Do you know what happened to you?"
Can I find a name? Can I find her own writing? Is she signing her journal pages? Or dating?
You can start looking
an
for
inscription in the front cover. Yeah, I mean, so I'm.
I'll figure out how long it takes you to find that.
And kind of dragging the candelabra around with me. I mean, let me know if she asks any direct questions. But
So the voice calls out, "Do you know what happened to you? You were quite incomprehensible, trying to break down my door."
Break down your let me ask again. Who are you, and where are we?
My name?
I am quite confused. Yes, and
My name is Serena. It is Monday, the 8th of August, 1509.
it was 1509, the same year that I.
Yes.
Okay. 1509. What year is that? After the cataclysm? Or what?
Yeah,
What
after the gods like ripped apart the world.
You're trying. You need to come up with a term for it. If you're gonna try, you're trying very hard not to call it the cataclysm.
Yes, I am.
But you don't have an alternate.
I do not. I should look at a thesaurus.
8th. It's been. How long have I been down here?
I've had you here safely for 2 days.
And my possessions? Why?
I'm going to step into the room now,
Have
I hope that we do not have any problems. I'm trusting that you will be calm and reasonable while we talk. It's
There's nothing
unfortunate that you
reasonable
have
about this situation.
escaped your restraints, because that would have made this a lot easier for both of us. I don't suppose I can get you to voluntarily restrain yourself again.
Oh, I don't suppose you can see this from my perspective, can you? Come on down. My calmness will depend on, well, your answers. Have I figured out?
A human woman steps into
Right?
view.
Did I see the name Serena? Like, did she anywhere in her document? Like, is she writing? Like, it's like often you'll write your name in the first page of a book, especially if something as valuable as a book in this day, like to denote your ownership. Or
No, you
like you'll
haven't.
sign if it's like a research notebook, you'll write
You haven't found anything yet. You've been
anything
looking
to
around,
verify who she. Okay, yeah.
this is someone else's laboratory, and there's a lot of shit around here.
And I guess like a specialty of magic. Like, are these books on sewing up the parts of animal? Is this like a necromancer's workshop or a?
Can't tell yet.
Like,
You've had like 5 minutes while talking to a person to look around.
So I think
the
she
lab.
walks in, I'm leaning this candelabra in her general direction as I've got one of the books halfway open on the table, and then so she steps down the stairs, and
she steps into
turn
the
to face
room.
her.
She's 5'8".
Still nervously clutching the candelabra.
She's 5'8", average build, in her mid-30s, wearing a long green skirt of linen and a blue silk blouse under a stained leather apron. She's got black hair that comes down to the kind of like back of her shoulder blades, and brown eyes, fairly clear complexion.
You said your name was Serena?
Yes. Who am I?
Are you the? Is this your tower?
It is. You
Okay.
must be. I'm not sure which name you prefer to go by, but you are the Wraith of the Tether Wilds, aren't you?
I have known many names and many times, but
What are you doing out here?
I suppose you have more answers than I do in this matter, I'm afraid. Where exactly is here? Is there I guess I look out a window again.
You are northeast of the Wispwood.
Okay. I was doing battle with trolls in the Soggy Hills, and I thank you for your hospitality. Suddenly getting a little more, I don't know, stand up straighter, trying to collect myself. But I have to ask again, where are my things? You don't know. I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation.
she kind of leans back as if to reach something on the staircase behind her and comes back with a long silver stick with kind of like a bend at the end of it, almost like a back scratcher. And dangling from it is the amulet of Malchus. But she's on the other side of the room from you, and the mongrelman is still in between the two of you. She holds it out and goes, "Is this what you're asking about? What is this?"
An artifact of unwieldy and catastrophic power.
So
I would advise that you return that to me before you doom us all.
I have patience. Patience. Where did you get this? Magic this strong does not fall from trees.
Nor do wizards like me. Is she like a? I think I've edged a few feet towards her. How far is she standing?
The room is 15 feet across. I'm going to say you were at the other end of the room, looking at the.
Okay, so
table.
so me inching 5 feet towards her is basically.
You're
standing.
Almost closing the distance if you do that.
Yeah. So,
but there's a mongrelman between her and you, so if you inch
so I
5 feet
I
closer,
go
you're nose to
forward,
nose.
dragging the candelabra, and I look at. Okay, you're kind of call it a mongrelman.
Yeah, it's definitely a mongrelman.
I pause to look at the creature for a second. Is it like on guard? What is it? How does it react to me?
I don't know how you would read this creature. It's got the face of a lizard man, one wolf claw, one human hand, and the hind legs of a great cat, but it's standing up on its bipedal. So it doesn't really show a lot of expression, and it just kind of stands in between the two of you, breathing slowly.
And my books.
I have sent my minions to follow the path of destruction you created. They have returned yesterday with a very large pile of stuff. From the Golden Needles, I gather you carry everything in your robe? That's what I thought. I will return all of your stuff to you. Do not worry, you are safe here. Had I wanted to kill you, I would have done so a long time ago. You can stand down, Wraith.
Yeah. I'm not undead, if that's what you're implying.
Oh, you were quite warm to the touch, and bleed like other men. Is there a name you prefer to go by?
As I said, there are many names, which I have no doubt you will know if you track down the trail of clues and in the depths of my pockets. You may know me as Georg of the Crimson Robes.
Georg.
Or perhaps...
I am Serena the Conjurer. Nice to meet you.
Oh. I sheepishly extend a hand, still holding on to the...
She doesn't extend a hand. There's still,
Okay. I had a litany of other aliases I was prepared to string off for her, but she didn't seem that interested. And so I'm sort of at a loss, standing there oddly, presenting a hand.
Georg, we have a slight problem here. I have chosen this location for its ease of living. There are no people to come and bother me. There are no kings or counts or barons to interfere with me. There are no would-be heroes coming to ransack my house for wealth. The locale provides protection via the untamed wilderness around me. And I would like to keep it that way. I like being alone in the woods.
Mark my words, if it gets out that you had that I paid a visit to your tower, you'll have adventurers knocking at the door. Kings and archmages.
You're not giving me very much reason to let you go.
I'm merely reminding you of the import of our impasse.
I think you do
Perhaps
not quite
we can-
understand the severity of the situation you are in. She
Well,
takes
fill
the
me in.
amulet.
I can't remember the past 4 days.
She takes the amulet and kind of leans back, places it and the stick back on the staircase behind her.
I look at
Closes
it,
her
perhaps a second
eyes.
too long, but- So where did she put it?
On the staircase. Like, she just reaches. So, how should I say? You're in this room, right? There's a doorway that doesn't actually have a door. It's just like a doorway. And beyond that is the staircase that goes up and down. So she's standing on the back side of this doorway. Not really behind the wall, but if she moves, she like leans behind a wall, right? And that staircase goes up behind that wall. So she leans, covering herself, places the amulet, what you presume to be on a staircase. Maybe there's a table there, but it looks like a staircase up on that side, and comes back.
What did you said her name was Serena? Did she she gave a title, like a...
The Conjurer. Anyway, when she comes back, she closes her eyes, begins to say a few words, and pulls some components from her pouch. You
I
can
don't
roll
get
initiative if you'd like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm probably doing a spellcraft, but I guess that's only going to tell me what the spell is as it's being cast. So initiative, or
Sure, roll initiative.
I guess if I beat her on initiative, I can interrupt the spell potentially.
Potentially, but the mongrelman's
one.
between the two of you.
Okay, I think we're both. I mean, I'm within 5 feet of every. It's a 15-foot room.
Yeah, but she's
bunch of
on the
furniture
outside
in
of the room. The mongrelman's between.
Oh,
like,
she's
in
up
the
a
doorway.
staircase. She never stepped into the room.
She stepped in outside of the doorway, so the mongrelman is in the
So she's-
doorway.
we've been having this conversation 15 feet above me.
No. All right, let's do this again. It's 15-foot room across. There's a stone doorway with no door in it. The mongrelman is kind of in the doorway. She's beyond the doorway where the staircase goes up and down, but there's like a level, there's a landing. So you cannot get to her without first going through the mongrelman.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, but so she's 5 feet behind the mongrelman
Yes.
at the floor, at the base of the staircase.
Yes.
Okay. In any case, I guess I wanted to. I mean, I get a 1 on my initiative. I've got my quarterstaff ready, but I would like to figure out what spell she's casting before I.
Give me a spellcraft check.
Yeah, I just wanted to double because my int has been lowered. I wanted to double check how spellcraft is calculated. Spellcraft is int -2, so it is actually written on my character sheet without the input. So it's 16, 15, 28. So what spell is she casting?
Reverse gravity.
What the? I've never seen that spell. I don't even know. That just like that's the stupid. That just like sends everything flying, right? I probably don't interrupt it. It sounds so absurd to me. I guess I'll go. Can I read it, or is that not what a spellcraft would allow me to do?
It is a higher level spell than you have access to.
It's a
So
fifth
you
level spell?
recognize what's going on, but you don't know the details of the spell.
Yeah, we make eye contact, I think, while she's casting it, and I have this debate about whether to like charge her and interrupt and like shove her, and then I'm like, why is she casting reverse gravity? Doesn't that just like, I guess it diffuses the situation?
Yeah, everything kind of shifts and then flips. And
I
you
ready
find
in
yourself,
action to fight off the mongrelman if it does anything stupid, but it sounds like we're all just...
You all begin to flip and change direction. She catches hold of the doorway so she doesn't disappear up wherever. And pretty soon you find yourself standing on the ceiling. The laboratory and most of the glassware shatters and crumbles all over the now floor as it tumbles to it. It looks like that bed that you were standing on is somehow bolted to the floor. The bookcase comes tumbling and starts to crack a little bit. Some of the books fall out. The whole room is now a mess. Everything's been dumped upside down, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a direction sense. Which direction is north? Is this like
North remains
is my
the
compass
same.
spinning all over the place? Okay. It's like a specific area. I don't necessarily know. Do I know? Yeah. It's like a.
It's definitely not the whole world. That would be a strong
I
spell.
would take an enormous amount of energy.
Yeah.
What is why? I'm sufficiently impressed. I don't think I'm saying anything. I'm just sort of standing there awkwardly clutching my upside down candelabra in stunned silence. I'm mentally taking notes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty like a strange, but kind of, is this a dimensionalist spell? If it's not, it's definitely
I don't know. It might be. Anyway,
definitely up my alley.
at the end of the round, she kind of like pulls herself onto the bottom of the doorway, which used to be the top. The mongrelman makes room for
So
her.
she just like stares me down while we're upside
no.
down. She doesn't say anything. Or is this the next round?
Well, no, this is like, because she turns upside down, then she catches herself and like pulls herself into the room a little bit and goes to a standing position.
Are we hanging? Our feet aren't affixed to the floor, right? Are we floating?
No, it's reverse gravity. Just change the direction of gravity. So your feet are on the floor.
Okay, so we all fall.
You
right?
all fall up. Yes.
Okay, but no damage is taken?
It's not that far of a fall. Like, I mean, the ceiling
Yeah, I
is
guess it's
8
less-
feet tall,
But
and you're
we
6 feet.
crumple and we stand back up.
Yeah,
I guess she maybe beats me.
it doesn't really matter.
That doesn't matter. So we stand
Yeah.
back up.
I presume I have your attention now.
That was a beautiful display of force.
Georg, I would like to give you all of your things back, but I need some assurances from you. See, my former master would have told me to gut you and use you for spare parts. He said his thinking was the fewer people who know where you are, the better. The less complications. And most of the time, I would agree with him. But then I realized what exactly it is, but the magnitude of the object around your neck, and these engravings of Malchus about it. I had the thought, is it really wise to interrupt Malchus in his greater goings-on? I think not. I think the destruction of a servant of Malchus would be more chaotic than letting him live. And clearly you are no chump wizard, no apprentice out for glory. I am asking you these questions because I would like to establish a baseline of mutual respect.
I think that baseline of respect was lost when apparently I came trolling down your door and wound up subdued in the basement.
Second floor.
Ah, yes, a torture chamber with a view. I set the candelabra down.
Now, I have a spell I would like to cast on you, Georg. And when it is done, I am happy to give you all of your possessions that my minions have found, and the one I took off your neck, carefully, without touching it. For strong demon magic is something I am not quite ready to be playing with today.
That's a little amusing. Demon magic. Okay. What spell is this?
I have a feeling it's one outside of your wheelhouse. But I assure you, no harm will come to you, as I've said before. When you were unconscious, I could have done any number of things to you that I desired.
And I can only assume that you did.
I cleaned your wounds, and I removed that amulet for some inspection. I have not touched it. I have not
It should be
meddled with
glowing
it.
blue, or is it not glowing blue?
What,
It should have 3 troll soul, or a troll soul stored in the main gem.
Yes, it is I think it's purple.
Okay, yeah, it's blue within its regular soul and was purple.
Red, regular, purple when it's troll soul.
Sure. Is it still purple?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Or was. You can't see it anymore. But.
If you tell me what the spell is and it's to my approval, I imagine you'll have less trouble learning what you want to know.
It is a protection enchantment.
Protection from little old me?
A woman can't be too careful in this world. I can do it even if you are not willing, but I'd rather do this peaceably.
I don't think I can give my informed consent if I'm not informed, milady.
Is that a refusal?
A subtle nod and a willful look at her.
No, she is not. I would like you to respect my property and my space. And I would like to give you back your possessions and ask you to leave and never return. I would like you to remember that I saved your life instead of murdering you and taking all of your things, which, by the looks of what my people have recovered, would have been very profitable indeed. A couple of potions, a magic wand, a ring that is still around your finger because I left it there.
I'm waiting for the but. You very eloquently laid out the best case scenario for this situation.
Georg, I do not want to be involved in whatever demon magic you are doing. I would like you to take this amulet as far away from me as you can and do not bring it back. I do not want to be involved in these things. This is why I live in the woods, well away from everyone else. The spell I wish to cast on you will simply ensure that you do not desire to come back here. Well, that you do not come back.
I'm genuinely sorry for having
brought chaos into my life.
Yes.
Brought the head god of chaos into my home.
This was never my wish. This was never within this I wasn't within.
You think you can wear an amulet to the god Malchus and that things will go according to plan? Do you realize who he is? Clearly you are no newborn, but you are still wet behind the ears, boy. How old are you? 15? 16 years old? Do not mistake my patience for weakness.
If you do not wish me to return, of course I will not. I didn't mean to wind up here in the first place.
Thank you.
Yes, when we meddle in the powers of magic, I suppose sometimes things get a little out of control.
They most certainly do. As you can see by Butch here, which says, motioning to the mongrelman who still has said nothing and just kind of heaving in front of you.
I nod somewhat knowingly.
Poor Butch and his kind are the result of terrible experimentation. Things that went very, very wrong. Poor Butch. Can you imagine trying to drink when your hand has 6-inch claws on it? You can't really grab a mug very well. There are problems. Anywho, I'm going to cast a spell now, and I hope you embrace it. As she begins to say some words.
I'll roll a spellcraft check, and likely still retain my saving throw as a spell.
Okay.
But we'll see. Pass. I should. Yeah.
You pass the spellcraft check.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Geas spell.
This is like sending me on a quest. I'll still make a saving throw. Is it a saving throw versus spell or versus something else?
There is no saving throw with Geas, actually.
Oh,
Looking
really?
at the spell right now. That's a fucking strong spell if there's no saving throw.
Well, it's like an 8th level spell, isn't it?
I think it's... You probably don't know what level... Your character definitely doesn't know what level it is. He's looking it up. It's 6th level, if you're looking.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so it does not have a saving throw. Which is slightly OP.
There's no limit? You could just send anyone on a quest?
There's limits on to what sorts of quests can be. But yeah, basically. You could point to a random peasant and be like, you must dig me a well, and then they'd be compelled to dig you a well.
Or a demigod, or an 18th level. I mean, someone with like an innate magical immunity would still get to roll that, but like an 18th level wizard would be just as affected as a peasant.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess so it doesn't. So what's the
the Geas is to leave and never return. Very simple.
Okay.
And so you are compelled to do this. If you resist and like try to go against the Geas, you will grow sick and die within D4 weeks.
Does it have a duration, or is it just forever until dispelled?
So you feel compelled, driven even, to leave this temple, this tower. It's somewhere around now. I think the reverse gravity wears off. It's not a very long duration. It's been a while. It's been like, 14 minutes or something? 15 minutes, 14 minutes, 13 minutes, somewhere around there. And the spell flips. Gravity flips, and you fall to the ground again. It's only 4 feet, 5 feet maybe. So no damage. You hear Serena, or you see Serena poke her head down the stairs and call out, Cassidy, bring the wizard here his other objects. And then she looks back towards you. If you would like, I can have my servants show you the path from which you came and where they found all of your possessions scattered about in the wilderness, in case anything is missing.
Yes, please. I once again thank you for the hospitality. If there's ever anything I can do, well...
You are still a servant of the existing Baron of Misty Rapids?
Yes. You may find me as Ark Carl of Baron Song's court, and can send me there.
If I have need of you, I will find you. But I would appreciate it if you spoke of this place to no one. I like to work alone.
My lips are, of course, sealed. I would appreciate your discretion as well.
And you are welcome. God knows what you would have done if I hadn't stopped you. We're in a blind rage for 2 days. By the way, before you leave, and I recommend you do so quickly, what is it that puts you into such a rage?
Trolls.
They're non-magical.
Yes, but one needs magic to dispose of them, as I'm sure you're aware. I was looking for shortcuts and, well, burning bodies and recycling souls can...
Maybe we will have a chat eventually. That sounds...
Yes, apparently I unleashed a troll spirit accidentally. I think I consumed it myself, but it appears it took a couple of days to metabolize. How I wound up at your tower instead of as king of the trolls is beyond me, but I guess we'll see to that presently.
She seems very amused by your joke.
Adieu,
out,
Lady Serena. It was a pleasure. If we do meet again, I hope it is under more pleasant circumstances.
Of course.
I think I'm bowing as I'm backing away. I'm compelled to leave this place.
Right.
I get that a few weeks, right? Before I start.
You won't.
But,
right. She reaches back and pulls that amulet back on the silver back scratcher type thing, and extends it over the body of Butch for you to reach.
Yeah, I probably grab it maybe a little too quickly. I'm kind of proud of myself for not having made a bigger issue over it, but I think when it's finally presented for me, it's a quick snap, and then I'm self-conscious about how quickly I snapped it, and I'm a little more composed putting it back over my shoulder. And are the servants handing me my possessions, or are they just leave?
No, you hear people coming up the staircase, but you haven't seen them yet.
Yeah. So I go to leave.
Okay. She backs up the stairway, making sure to keep Butch between you and her the whole time.
Does Butch seem like I could give him a pet, or is he not that friendly? If I put my hand, does he look? What if I put a fist out towards his nose?
He doesn't sniff it. He just continues to look at you. He's got no emotion in his eyes. Maybe that's because he's got a lizard's head, or maybe because he has no will of his own, or maybe he's just stupid, or maybe he's bored. I don't know, but he just has a very flat look about him. You see two more mongrelmen coming up the staircase holding two boxes. They set them down in the doorway for you to open. And you can do a quick inventory as you can't really put things back in your pockets.
No, but I think I drag the boxes off of her grounds or whatever to you
take them out of the temple, out of the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they help you carry the boxes down if you need help with it. Otherwise, you can do it yourself. And she offers to have these two show you the path that you came through. You can find your way back, and offers to send the two of them with you as bodyguards to help you get out of the woods.
Who are these people? Are they armed?
They're mongrelmen.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, they're two other mongrelmen. One of them was called Cassidy. You didn't catch the name of the third one.
Okay. Well, I thank her for her hospitality, and once again, continue the bowing all the way as I back off the ground. So I guess I'm carrying boxes now. Mm-hmm. So I get away from the tower before inventorying things.
Do you take the mongrelman with you?
Yeah, I think I need help carrying my. Sure. Yeah, I asked them to. Yeah. I think it was just because they were carrying my shit, right? And
right.
And I'm trying to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them grunts and says, "Stromheim?"
No, I was under the impression you could take me to where you found my things.
The path.
Yes.
It grumbles.
Once everything, yeah.
And slowly starts, walking through the woods. You can see a clear path of destruction. It looks like someone or something has come in a straight line, and there are plants ripped up. There are things that are pushed back. There's very clearly something came through here and just battered things around and broke branches and.
A large thing or a
man-sized thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I basically just went running through the forest.
Something
Where?
like that.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess we follow the path.
I do want to make,
Like
at some point you do
'cause
an
I think I want to go get
inventory.
my. What's that?
When do you do your inventory of checking all of your things? Is that
I
at
think
the base of the tower, or is that further out?
Maybe as we're going. I didn't want to waste the Mongrama's time, but it sounds like they've got nothing but time. So I guess as soon as we left the tower grounds, and I felt like no longer compelled by the Gaius, that I would set down the boxes and do a.
You poke through your things. Everything is there except for the Ring of Truth.
Ooh.
Everything else is there.
I'll ask one of the mongrelmen if they. Oh, that's not. That could. I don't know. What is maybe she's keeping it as blackmail, or it's not a particularly important item to me, but it's quite incriminating. I asked the mongrelmen if they found a ring, if there was another ring.
No ring.
Silver.
No.
Where did you find the stuff? I have them.
He points in front of you. 2 days. 1
2
day.
days walk?
1 day, 2 day. And they set out with you.
Jesus. Can I memorize spells now or no?
Yeah, you have your spell book, so you'd have to sit down and memorize spells, but you could do it. Mongrel will sit with you. They will follow you and kind of be your temporary servants until you dismiss them or exit the woods.
Oh.
Or enough time has passed that they get tired of your shenanigans.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go see if I can find my skeletal unicorn and see what happened to those trolls. One of them probably recorporealized and wandered off, or
why don't we take a break
buddies
and deal with all this stuff on the other side of the break?
Sure.
See you guys in a few minutes.